Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the last recording of this season of my Amazulu run. Today, we have our final two Premiership matches of the year against Highlands Park and Kaiser Chiefs. We're currently sitting pretty comfortably in second, based on goal differential, but with 2 games to play and Supersport tied with us on 2 games to play, we really need to win both matches. Then we're basically guaranteed to win on goal differential. First match shouldn't be a problem. It's against Highland Park all the way down here in 15th. They're going to be fighting to stay out of relegation. But the second match is going to be a bit of a challenge because we're taking on Kaiser Chiefs, who aren't statistically that much worse than us. We've got a pretty positive record. I guess it doesn't give me previous meetings on this screen. But we've got a pretty positive record against Chiefs. We tend to be able to beat them. But they've shot up the table this year, so I'm not sure the old rules apply to them. And if we lose that one, we could fall to third against with a Supersport beating us, assuming they win both of their matches. Ultimately, it probably doesn't really matter because we should already be qualified for the Confederation Cup next year based on our performance winning it this year. But I still want to get second. I want to end on as high a note as possible, and obviously, actually, we could hypothetically take first if Pirates lose a match or two and we win both of ours. Because we're only 1 point behind them. But realistically, Pirates are the better team. They will most likely win both those matches. I don't know who they have left, but I don't think they're playing anyone that poses a real threat of knocking them out. I'd be really happy if Pirates and Supersport were playing each other. Solve a lot of my problems, but I don't think I'm going to get that lucky. I know we got the rundown a few episodes back, but I'm only recording 2 of these a week, so that was like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what it said. Makwakwana set a record for the fastest goal scored in a match, beating Atladisa 19-second score. So we've had a couple of fast starts. Here we go. Here I'll have the information. Pirates have Chippa. They'll definitely beat them. But yeah, that's not looking like we're going to be able to make up the ground on Pirates. That's fine. I wasn't really expecting it. Here we see how badly we dominated Polokwane City. It didn't feel like a domination because we only won by 2. But no bad performances. 8.4 rating is the highest rating in the match, and 63% possession, 16-1 shots. We definitely vastly controlled that match. And that's kind of the way it goes a lot. We have never had consistent finishing. Domini is not really being played much, probably because he's been so inconsistent this year. Oh, wow. Pirates drew with Chippa. If we win both our matches, we win the league. That's actually huge. McQuaquina and Ndlovu are in the running for player of the late season, which is nice to see. It probably is going to Suardo. I mean, if he can play well with how Stellenbosch has been doing this season, that counts for a lot. I was nervous for a second when I saw Adam leaving on trial, but it's a different Adam. His son Adam is the one we have, and he's still in place. This seems good. It's a weaker lineup, but that's kind of what I want because I want to bring the strong team against Chiefs, and so resting people a bit here will really help us heading into that. Mergeman. I'm going to be so glad next season when I actually have a proper winger out there again because injuries have hammered that position. We're firm favorites to win this one, which is kind of what I knew. As long as the guys don't let up, we're going to get it. McQuaquina still needs to get 4 more goals to set the new record, so I don't actually think he's going to get it. We're close, but I don't think he's getting 20 in 2 matches left with one against tough opposition. I don't know if I love that advice to tell them we're not expected to win, but yeah, the only person who took it badly was Tau, so actually that was the way to handle it. This is why I tend to trust my coaches. Even Tau didn't really take a morale hit from it because I eased his sore feelings. Yeah, I don't think we actually win the title there because it's still down to what we do against Chiefs, unless Pirates lose their final match. If they actually manage to lose, I have the 6 attacking. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I was talking, not paying attention, just clicking through. But if Pirates actually lose, we win the title in this game, and then it doesn't matter what happens when we play Chiefs. But I don't think Pirates lose their final match. I do feel like I don't know where we're gonna get that last attacker. I guess we can change. No, he's not very good at attacking in those positions either. Yeah, this is just a case where I'm just going to ignore that advice. I can't get 5 attackers without severely dropping people's comfort position. It's good to see McQuaquina excelling at training when I really need him. So Zulu, I don't play him, so that's fine. That's not even involving us. It must have been that we were trying to get him. Margeman's fine. Traore's only good for 45 minutes. Nedlovo's not ready to come back, and Torre's not ready to come back. Those injuries did bite us a bit at the end of this season, but not too bad. Yeah, here we go. We're shuffling up the team a bit as people have rested up. I might actually be able to get those 5 attackers they wanted now. Safema's in here. He can play as an attacking central midfielder. That gets me up to 4. And Fountain's in here. He can play as an attacking playmaker. There we go. Now I've got the 5 they wanted. It was just a matter of shuffling around the players a bit. So as far as quality of the team, it's not the best team we're bringing, but far from the worst. Mirosavic's still not quite there, and Senamela is still actively bad. But everyone else is good. So this is definitely a team that could win us the league today. I still don't think it's happening because it's really down to if Pirates lose their next match, if we win today or not. But we're at least going to try to position ourselves as strongly as possible. And if they do, and we've already won, it's going to make going into Chiefs a whole lot easier, because then I don't care what happens. I'm just going to let the game play out. And if we win or lose, I don't care. I just don't want people getting hurt and losing the entire off season, because then they're going to struggle next season. And we might have a new goal record. I don't think so. I think that was 18 seconds, but we had another stupidly fast goal from Matenjwa, assisted by Safema. At this moment, we are sitting in first place. But then that's all that we knew we were going to be in first after this game. It's all down to what happens with Pirates in their next match. Oh no, it was 16 seconds. I think we did just set a new record, because I thought the old one was 17. I'd really like to get a second goal super early. Then I can take a lot of the pressure off the guys, because I don't think Parks can get 2 goals back on us. 1, they can definitely equalize and throw a wrench into our winning the league. Although with City drawing, we can actually win off a draw. Here we go, there's the second goal I wanted. 2 minutes 54 in, Walker scores, assisted by Margeman. And that's Walker playing on the wing where he's not good. That was a bad strike from Makwakwina. This is why I said I don't think he can get 4 goals in the next 2 matches. Or even 3 to tie the record. I'll be happy if he gets 1 goal a match. Like, I would like him to get a goal in both matches, because he is a very good striker, but I'm not expecting 2 or 3. We don't have the sort of striking quality in this club to consistently score 2 or 3 goal games, even against weak teams. It tends to be pretty spread out. A lot of people can score once, but we don't get a whole lot of hat tricks or braces. Especially not when they start parking the bus on us like this. But that's alright. I expected them to do that. We're up 2 goals. I'm perfectly fine with not scoring anything else this game. We've done enough with goal differential in the past that it would be absolutely insane for Supersport to catch us on goal differential. And now that Pirates have drawn their match, we're sitting a lot nicer than we were when I hit record today. And I've got a team that's very comfortable playing together, which is a big deal, because a lot of times when one player loses the ball or so, someone else is right there to swoop in and get it because they're so familiar with each other's actions. It's the big advantage of having team familiarity high. Seasons with a lot of injuries, that's why we tend to struggle. Like last season when we were only fifth, we struggled because we just took so many injuries that no one could ever get that level of familiarity. So a lot of passes would be left out in open areas, and lost balls would just not be picked up. And so Matengwa scores, assisted by Walker. So we're 12 minutes in, and we're up 3 goals. Now this match just becomes a don't let anything happen situation where I just have to try to keep everyone healthy. Because this is pretty close to the team I'm going to want to bring against Chiefs. That's why I toyed with the weaker team earlier, but then decided at the time that it's better to just, when it looked like we could win the league, I decided it was better to just go out and make sure I won this one. Because we may be in a situation where what I do against Chiefs doesn't matter at all. That's actually where I want to be. It makes playing the match a little less entertaining, but it's better for the overall goal of the game, which is not to just entertain myself playing the matches, but to actually win. And I know when I started this, actually recording these, I said I wanted to play until I either did the double or got fired. And we could potentially do the double this year, but I'm definitely doing another season because I want to see what impact our financial situation has on us. Because we're going to have to get rid of a lot of players and probably work on more youth development, which is going to make the next season a lot more challenging than this one was, and probably a lot more entertaining for me. So I'm not going to deprive myself of that just to start a Shrewsbury save in a game I'm not as familiar with because I haven't installed it yet. But it probably mostly works like this one. I'm going to have to figure out the new broken formations and stuff, though. Circumstances like that make me very happy I was able to hang on to February despite not using him all season. Because he's almost as good as Ndlovu in goal. And it's really nice having 2 super strong goaltenders. Most of this save, I was playing with like a 2-star goaltender. And it made getting tight wins a lot more difficult. Although for most of that save, my back defensive line was a lot stronger. So it kind of equaled out, but still, like when they did break through, it was a lot more worrying. Oh, we drew a penalty and Walker's taking it, so that's probably us going up 4 in the first half. Walker's a really good penalty taker. That's actually his 32nd goal of the season in all competitions. Although mostly it's been him on the left wing. Having him out on the right for the last couple of games has hurt his performances because he's not nearly as good as a right winger. But it's the biggest hole in my team right now. Hopefully someone comes up on free transfer during the offseason that I can bring in and slot into that position so I have a couple of comfortable right wingers instead of just one. That might be a red card. That looked like they really brought Fountain down hard. No, just a free kick. Usually when it holds on a penalty like that after it's happened, instead of cutting straight to you taking the kick, it's because the opponent or the penalized player is going to get a card. So I was a little surprised that there was no card awarded, but this ref seems pretty lenient, so I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised that no cards are getting handed out. Because so far there's just been the one against Parks. On Modi Sakang, who was one of our former players, actually. Because that's been one of the constants of this save so far, that things are going to change now with our financial troubles. We're going to be more aggressively unloading people. But what would happen is we'd develop people up to a star level, and then they'd go off to be like the top player on another team because they'd just get too big for us. And so most clubs at this point have at least one player that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember them. They were great that season. Oh, Walker scored his another goal. After I said no one gets braces on this team, Walker gets one. But that was really sloppy playing from Feng Weo. I'm going to have to see what happened here, but he should not have been in a circumstance where Walker could steal that so easily. Okay, in real time it looked a lot nicer. It looked like he was just kind of walking along in front of the net and Walker stole it, but it was that slide tackle. Didn't show up with the circles. And everyone's playing fantastic. No one's super tired. Making it really hard to choose who to sub. So I think I'm just going to take McQuaquin off, make sure that he's ready to go for the next match. I'll give Traore some minutes, try to get him back into playing form. Hopefully I don't break him again. He's only fairly good as a striker, but all our solid strikers that aren't McQuaquin are injured. And with the call that's coming over the summer, there's a decent chance that Traore is going to be our number 2 striker next season. I'm going to try my hardest to hang on to McQuaquin now. And given that he signed a multi-year deal with us, I should be able to. Unless we really get hard up for money. Still, no one's really struggling. No one's fatigued. I guess I'm going to take off Fountain and try to bring Tau back up to 100% match sharpness. He's been getting a little lax lately. Plus, he was upset by the pressure that I put on him, so I want to show him that I still have faith in him. Because I did upset him and then take him off in favor of Fountain. Don't tell me Margeman got carded. It's just a yellow. Okay, we're fine. Hopefully that's not a threshold yellow that suspends him for that final match. Unless we're already champions by the time we get there, then it's fine if he's suspended for that final match. I probably wouldn't play him anyway. Nice stealth appearance by Adam. He was completely buried by the circle of number 7 for Highlands Park. Okay, Seneca is starting to get tired. Weird, last time I looked at his stats, he looked alright. I guess he dropped substantially during that last 10 minutes. If he's leaking endurance that fast, I think I need to take him off for Meilula. At this point, I don't really care about getting Meilula back to playing form anymore. I know that was something I was working on for the last couple of games, bringing him in for 10-20 minutes. But there's only one match, and then he's going to lose all his playing form anyway over the summer. So I might as well just not worry about it anymore. I'm not getting him from like 87% back up to 100 for the Chiefs game. Meilula is very poor in that position as well, so I don't really want to play him. I suspect next season I'm going to have to if I go the cheaper route. But at this point, he's mostly just transfer bait. I'd like to keep O'Shaughnessy to play there instead. But at this point, it's just wait out the time we've won. They're not scoring 5 goals in 2 minutes. With how Walker's performed on that wing, even though I really don't like having him out there on the right, the fact that he can play both wings, he's definitely a player I'm going to try to hang on to for next season. Because sure, he's a foreigner and he's fairly expensive, but he's also one of the most versatile players I have. It was his 125th career league appearance today. Meilula made his 25th appearance for us, and the rest are for Highland Park. So, not a lot interesting going on in the way of milestones today. So yeah, we're currently in first place by a point. It looks like Supersport lost their match. No, they drew it. Supersport had a draw, and Pirates had a draw. So at this point, if we draw, we have second. Guaranteed. Because, that's like, our floor right now is third. Chiefs can no longer pass us. They lost their last match. Supersport can get to 63 if they win. Pirates can get to 64. So Pirates beat us on a draw or a win if we lose. I may have screwed up by putting Traore in there. Oh, well. Oh, that's just that he's back from injury and he's not that fit. So, I'm going to really try to not play Traore in the next match so he doesn't hit that 25 appearances mark and have to get more money because I can't afford it. Oh. Don't need to watch the highlights. We just played the match. They expect me to win the Premiership all of a sudden. No surprise that Walker was our player of the match there. It's just too bad he already had perfect morale, so complimenting him did nothing. Looks like Pirates want to take some of my players that I really don't want to lose. Walker's pumped up by the press. I really don't want to sell him Mirosavic, but that has nothing to do with not getting along with him. That's just I don't want to lose Mirosavic. Oh, god damn it. This is what I was afraid of, that Margeman was going to get himself suspended. So now it's really important that Pirates lose. I need to cut 6 players. Borges, Bonifacio, Cuisine, Mello, Village, and McDonald. Yeah, no surprise those guys were the ones that were cut. And yeah, Matenjwa did set us a new record today. He beat the 17-second record with 15 seconds. I don't think we're going to be able to go any faster than that. Even against an absolutely horrendous team, I don't think it's possible to score a goal in less than 15 seconds. I suppose they could just yeet it directly from the central square, or from the kickoff, but doubt it. The big news for our Canadian World Cup squad is that we brought Pantanis in. I have no idea how to say his name, even though he's real, and kicked Borges out, and then Estacio got left out due to injury, which really hurts because Estacio is one of our best players. Yeah, no surprise there. I think the most surprising thing is that Highland Parks had 43% possession in that match because it felt like we were in control the whole time. We were very heavily the left wing, showing how much of an impact Walker really made on that game, beyond him just being the best player in it by a wide margin. Oh, look, Tunkara was the best FA Cup player. And he's improving. I don't think we're paying him that much either, so he could be a key player next year. He's also the youth player for the FA Cup. I suppose that makes sense. If you're the player of the cup and you're young enough to be a youth player, you're definitely the best youth. Matenjwa got a pay raise. We're still not paying him that much, so that's probably alright. Momed's still struggling. And we're not going to offer him a new contract because he's not doing great. Chikwekwe is playing well again. For our last week of training. One more match. We're probably not even going to do this training over here because regardless of how Chiefs play out, we don't have any more matches. So sure. Oh, Chiefs just played today. Oh no, that's just my analysis. They played 5 days ago. They're actually more rested than us. Pirates still have not played that last match, which I really want them to play before me, so I know where I stand heading into that Chiefs match. But I think I'm just going to have to play to win it. It doesn't look like I'm going to be lucky enough to have any sort of foreknowledge. I like everything except for not having Mirosavic in. But I suspect I'll be able to change that day of because that's most likely just due to Mirosavic still being tired from the last match. So I'll go with their suggestions for now and hopefully be able to bring in Mirosavic day of. Although Matia's actually ticked up a bit. My constant bringing him in for 10 minutes at the end of matches seems to have actually had an impact on his ability. Because he's 2.5 stars now instead of the 1.5 he's been sitting at. He actually gained quite a bit for this match. We are still favored against Chiefs. It's a tight match, but we should win it. Walker's tied for our assist record, so he can set that in this match. Is the pressure on him again? Same result as last time, where Tau got insulted while everyone else liked me taking the pressure. So that's a good sign. That means that Tau is more ambitious, because I'm going to probably be using him more next year. Hulk can fuck right off with their wanting Walker. I'm not going to insult Carson. I have no particular problem with him. I just don't want to lose Walker. Sure, I'll transfer Johnson to the reserves. I didn't even realize he was playing for the main squad. Oh man, I'm tense heading into this match. I don't want to lose Williams either, but I wouldn't be surprised if both those guys head back to the UK. Yeah, I'll skip this guy. Can't do anything with this information. We've actually got a lot of scouts. They're just all wanting to work in Europe and South America right now. That's something we're definitely going to have to adjust in the off season. I'm going to have them more focused on South Africa. We're doing fitness. Traore's good for 45 minutes, but I don't want to play him anyway because I don't want to pay him more. And Ndlovu is ready to come back. Tori's still not ready to come back. Pirates have Black Leopards. Black Leopards can be tricky. And Super Sport have Cape Town. So Super Sport are probably winning. Nope, this is the lineup we're going with. I mean, Mattia has gained quite a bit, but Siassi's not quite at the level I want him. Neither is Mattia. Cinemella's still kind of bad. Tau's not great. It's not as strong a team as I would like to be bringing, but I think part of the problem is Margeman being suspended has thrown a wrench into a lot of the lineup that we wanted. Like, we don't have a captain available today. So we had the... And even though Ndlovu's back and ready to go, we're keeping it on a... Give the captaincy to Adam if you weren't paying attention. But we're keeping February in the net. He's been doing well for us. And we're not going to destroy his confidence by taking him out here for Nedlovo. Earlier in the season, I would absolutely try to get Nedlovo back in the net and playing again, but final game of the season, I'll let February have it. We've fallen to second, which means that Pirates are now winning in their match. That makes this a must-win. For my ego, because ultimately, second place is completely fine given our objectives for this season. We're already outperforming vastly what was expected of us when the season started. Come on, Fountain. Well, that was a little dangerous. Rui's a good player. Not super familiar with Jacobs, but Rui has burned us in the past. This is amongst the best our team has been looking. I mean, we're not scoring, but for just moving quick, good decision making, breaking up challenging plays, good positioning, we're looking really good today. I feel good about this, knock on wood. Because we don't need to win by a lot. We just need to wear them down and get one. Tau gets us to one, assisted by Matenjwa. Now if we can just hang on, we're league champions. We've moved back into first. As long as we can hold our league, Pirates can no longer catch us. And for a match of this importance, I thought more people would turn up. But I suppose Chiefs can't move in the standings. And this is an away game for us, so Chief fans don't really care. It'll be interesting to see our traveling fans section. I suspect that's going to be absolutely packed. Here we go. Come on, Walker. Get your assist in. And Walker has just set the assist record. Matenjwa's score is assisted by Walker. And at this point, we probably are champions because I don't... Like, it's been a close match, despite the fact that most of the highlights have us dominating. Wow, actually, not a lot of our fans traveled. That away section's pretty empty, too. Weird for a match where we could potentially win the league. But what I was saying is, it's been a close match, but I don't think uh, Chiefs can get two back on us in a half. And it's a shame to see Matung hurt. He used to play for us. It looks like Chiefs' confidence is breaking a bit. They were like half a step off from where they were earlier. They looked slower. I think they're starting to get tired, more so than we are. We might actually be able to make a command performance here and get a third. They're starting to make subs to fix things. Everyone's playing really good, although McQuaquina is our worst player. It's a trap here to put Traore in. I'm going to put Saketlong in. Because I'm probably going to try to keep Traore next season, and I'd rather not be paying him that bonus if I can avoid it. Saketlong is just a better player anyway. I've been mostly trying to build Traore up. But right now, financial concerns trump developmental ones. I'm sure he's going to be real salty that I didn't put him in this game even after I substituted his position. But, it's for the best. Because it beats me selling him, or giving him that raise and then immediately selling him. Let's see. Walker's actually not playing that well, but I have no one to put in for him. How's Siasi doing? We got lots of people for Siasi. I'll put Foster in for him. Walker's not playing so badly that I feel like I need to make a substitution for him, even though I'm going to be forcing someone to make the position work as opposed to playing someone that's comfortable in it. Foster's pretty bad as a central defender, though. It's not ideal, but I've got a ton of really bad central defenders right now. That's where I'll be able to tin a lot of players out. Just not renewed our contracts for the most part. Because they're mostly youth players that I've brought up, and they don't get to play, so they don't really develop. Saketlong is very cautious about not getting an offside. It's a skill I kind of wish he'd teach McQuaquina. Sefema is looking exhausted. He's also playing really well. And it's the last game of the season. For the last 10 minutes, no. I'm going to put Melula in for Walker. I'm going to have to tweak things around a bit. But I mostly just want to see what I can do with that position. We're up 2. There's 10 minutes left to play. We're winning this game pretty comfortably. It's a chance for me to play around and see what I can do with that position next season. Assuming we ever get a moment where the ball goes out so I can bring on Melula. It might just be Walker for the whole game because we don't get another stop. There we go. Yeah, see, Melula's useless there, but I can switch Safema up. This is what I wanted to play around with. Put Safema in as a supporter, and then he's pretty good. And then Melula can sit back here, still on attack, and he's decent. I'm actually surprised it didn't give me that as an option, because this is definitely the sub I'd want to make if it was a more important game and I ever had to pull Walker from that position. So it's made the team substantially worse because Walker was playing pretty good. Actually, really good. He was the worst player out there, but that was still a 6.8, which I'm completely happy with. But at least now I know what I can do next season if I need to sub that out. And Sketlong might actually put an exclamation point on this. No, Mwefe had something to say about that. But we're 4 minutes away from the championship. This has actually turned into like a fairy tale season. I don't think this is going to translate into the board giving me more money. But it at least might and that's probably my fault that Rui got hurt. I told them to get stuck in this match. But at least the cash influx we get from winning the championship might carry us across that month before I can sell players, when I still have to pay all my players. And with that, we win the league. Chiefs. February actually managed to go 307 consecutive minutes without conceding. Walker made his 25th appearance. Melula made his 125th appearance. That was like the perfect final day of the season. So now we have the little mini league to qualify to determine who goes where in relegation, which is why we have such a long gap before the season officially ends. We got our double, qualified for the Champions League. No money for transfers. And a small payroll budget, but I think it's much more than last year's was. We won the Premiership 5 years early. I go into the Hall of Fame. Swansea continues to underperform. At least he's finally open to input about how he's underperforming. Matenjwa ends up as our player of the match. Another guy who I can't boost with him. We'll get Bulai fired because we don't have money. Okay, 1.65 million is not enough to stop our financial bleed. But anyway, we're ending that season on a high note. We now have nothing scheduled until the end of July when we have a friendly. We're going to get a lot more before then, but I don't think we're going to be playing much. So now we get to switch gears to our friendly against Poland, and then our first World Cup match with Canada against Iran. Our match against Poland. That's not helpful. I don't want World Cup. Here we go, World Rankings. A match against Poland. Poland's fallen off, but they're still better than us. And Iran is slightly worse than us, so this is our big winnable World Cup match, probably. So that's going to be an interesting change of pace for next time. But for now, everyone, thanks for watching, and hopefully I see you next time for the World Cup. Start of it, anyway. So thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.